I'm going to wait and see if a few people come in. Got our hair up into the granny bun, all ready to go. Fresh cup of coffee. Let me go ahead and get my puppy a treat. And then I can get my hands washed and we will get started. He's a good boy. Oh my goodness. He's set. Oh my goodness, you're learning so fast. Okay. I'll be right back. Let me wash my hands here. This will be really pretty quick and easy this morning. I'm just going to have, I'm going to do 3 mason jars, which would be 3 cake mixes. Have you ever went to make a cake and you didn't have any mix and you didn't want to go to town? Well, this is very quick, very simple. You put it in your pantry and you'll have 3 cake mixes. Basically all you need is 3 mason jars, quarts, and all of your cake dry ingredients will be in your quart jar, and you can put this in your pantry. So basically it's all of the dry ingredients that would be in a regular cake mix of any brand. So that's what we're basically going to be doing. That way you don't have to worry about going to the store. You need to make a cake. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make 3 of these mixes up. And then I'm going to take one of the mixes and I'm going to make a cinnamon swirl bundt cake out of one of the mixes that I make. So I'm going to be making 3 quart jars. That'll be 3 yellow cake mixes. If you don't have any quart jars, you can just pick some up at Walmart or your local feed store. A lot of times Kroger's, grocery stores will have them. Or if you have a thrift store close by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this over here so you can see what we're going to be doing. It's really quick, really simple. Again, it'll be 3 mason jars, 3 quart jars. Good morning. So all you need is your 3, and it's very simple ingredients. You need your 3 mason jars. Now this is basically if you need a yellow cake mix and you don't have one, these will be in your pantry. You can make them up and then you won't have to worry about buying box cake mixes. So we're going to set that off to the side. And it's really simple ingredients. We have flour, all-purpose flour. See if I can get this over a little bit more. We have all-purpose flour. You'll have sugar, baking powder, and salt. That's all the ingredients that you're going to need for this cake mix. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my flour, and I'm just going to go right down the row here. So I need 2 1/4 cups of flour. So let me go ahead and get these separated. I hope everybody's doing good this morning We're supposed to have a snowstorm today moving in. Good morning. Am I the only one here? No, I think there's some others here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to do our first quart jar. We're going to need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So I just basically, and it don't have to be sifted. So there's 1. This is so nice because you don't have to worry about going to the store and buying cake mixes. These will be in your pantry. And these make really nice gifts if you want to make a nice gift. So there's 2 1/4. That's my first one. So this is basically the same ingredients that you would have in a box cake mix. And it's just all-purpose flour. You don't have to sift it. This will be in your pantry. If you decide you want to make a cake and the weather's bad, you can just go to your pantry and get out a jar of your yellow cake mix. Okay, and this is it's 2 1/4 cups of flour for each jar, each mason jar, and these are a quart jar. I'm going to have just enough flour on this one to do this batch. My husband's wanting a cinnamon swirl cake. So after we get this done, we're going to make a cinnamon swirl bundt cake. I don't think I'm going to have enough to make my third one today. Not with this one. I'm going to have to go get another bag of flour, and then we'll just do it that way. I like to use up what I have open. I don't like to mix my flour in my container. So let me go ahead and go get another thing of flour real quick. And since I'm going to be making my cake, I'm just going to mix all of this one together, and this will be the one I mix up today for my cake. See if I can go ahead and get my 4th. And then let me go ahead and open up a new one. And this is just regular all-purpose flour. 2 1/4 cups. My husband said, "Can you make me a cinnamon swirl bundt cake today?" Okay, so there's 2 1/4. So that's all my flour. And I want to keep this one to the side because I mixed my 2 different flours together. So I'm going to use it today. Now, I need 1 1/2 cups of sugar. in each jar. We're supposed to get that snow hitting in today sometime. Okay, so we've got 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Now we're going to do 1 1/2 cups of sugar in each jar. Simple ingredients. Okay. Now, we just need 3 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. See if I could shake it down just a little bit more. I think I got a little bit too much flour in that one, but it'll be all right. Just shake it down a little bit. Get it all settled in there. Just 3 1/2. And then we need 1 teaspoon of salt. And this is so nice because they're in your pantry. They're ready to go. You make them up ahead of time around the holidays. They make really nice Christmas gifts. And 1 teaspoon of salt. And that's all there is to it. Get your lid on, and then that is your mix. This is your dry mix. So this one I want to set to the side because I mixed my flour. So now I'll go ahead and get these others. Let's see if I can't go ahead and shake that down a little bit. And this will make 3 cake mixes. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cake out of 1 today. And that'll give me 2 for my pantry. So I thought since I was doing this, I might as well bring you along. So this is 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So now we're going to do 1 1/2 cups of sugar. And I'm using half cups. So there's 1. 2. 3. 1 1/2. And now we need 3 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. Bobby. I hear my puppy in there playing. So there's 3. and a half. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. And this is so nice because I don't have to run to the store get everything. So that would be equal to 1 box cake mix. It's all your dry ingredients. Set this one to the side. I added a little more baking powder to the other one because I have a little more flour in that one. Okay, so now we need 1.5 sugar. And I like to try and use everything up before I put anything new in, so I've got other containers laid out if I need them. I think we're just going to make it. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here so I can. Okay. There's 1.5 cups of sugar. We need 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Bobby was sleeping, my dog, I have a puppy, he's a Maltese. He was sleeping until I went to do this, and he decides he's going to be helping. Okay, there's 3.5. And then we need 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, that will give you 3 yellow cake mixes for your pantry. So if you're ever at home and if the weather's getting bad and you don't have any cake mixes and you don't want to run to the store, that will give you 3 yellow cake mixes. And these are in a quart jar. You can put them in your pantry, have them on stock, ready to go. And these 2 I'm going to set to the side. And those are just a quart jar. What time did you go live? Are you tired? Yes, a little bit. I'm a little tired. Puppy got me up around 3 o'clock this morning. Okay, I'm going to set those off to the side. Now, since I'm going to be turning this into an actual cake, one of them, I want to be using this one. And I'm going to be turning this into a cinnamon swirl bundt cake. So I'm going to go ahead and follow to make the rest. This is all your dry ingredients. So that's just like having the box. Then, when you're ready to mix up your cake, you'll have 1/2 cup of softened butter, which is in 1 stick, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1.5 cups of milk, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, and then 1 jar of your mix. So I'm going to go ahead and move all of this stuff over. We're going to go ahead and put this is like if we were starting a cake. We would start with the 1.5 cups of softened butter. And I'm going to use my KitchenAid. So now we're going to turn this into a cake. since my husband is wanting a cinnamon swirl bundt cake. So that's 1/2 cup of softened butter, which is equal to 1 stick. 1/2 cup. Then we need 2 tablespoons of oil. So this is if I was just got my mix out of my pantry, and I'm making a cake. This will show you how nice it turns out. And then we need 1.5 cups of milk. And I don't have regular milk because it's only my husband and I. So I use the canned whole milk. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some milk in another quart jar. So I'm going to set this off to the side. And I actually need to see. Oops, I think I jumped the gun on that one. No, I did it right. I need to beat my oil, my eggs, and my butter all together. So let me go ahead and get 3 eggs. We'll go ahead and get this mixing. That turned on and let that be mixing up nice. Okay, then let me go ahead and get my milk together here. Get this open. And I don't keep milk on hand unless I have a small amount, because if I try to keep milk on hand, it's just my husband and I. And it's hard for us to keep a lot of milk on hand, so I keep a can of the dried whole milk, and then I keep the packets of the 2% milk. So I need 4 tablespoons for 8 ounces. I usually keep stuff like this on hand because a lot of times we're at camp and I don't have access to the milk real quick and stuff like that, so I always keep the powdered. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do, that will make 8 ounces. I'm going to go ahead and double that and make 16. But if you have milk, you don't have to go through this process. And then I'm going to add one cup, 8 ounces of water. So I'm going to put 2 cups in, so that'll be 16. I usually do it like this because I get used to doing it like this, and then when I'm camping, it's not stressful. I'm already used to using the powdered milk for baking. Quick and easy. That way I don't waste any of the milk. It doesn't go bad. But if you have milk available, you don't have to go through this process. But this is also kind of nice if you're in a place where you're camping, you don't have easy access to the store. You can keep some powdered milk on hand. Okay, and I will need 1.5 cups of milk. I can see. Okay, we got 1.5 cups of milk. And then I can put this in the refrigerator. And I'll still have some for another baking project. Then I've got, the only other ingredient that I'll need is the vanilla extract. Okay, so let me go ahead and beat this and make sure it looks good in here. We'll turn it up a little bit. Hope everybody's doing good today. Now go ahead and let me see. 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, so that's all I'm going to need extra here. Okay, and you just beat that up well. Then add milk, and then we're going to turn it back on again. That's really not this long. Trying to do this in a hurry this morning because I have to go to an appointment here in a minute. So I'm getting in too big of a hurry this morning. Okay, then we're going to add our dry ingredients and our vanilla. So we'll go ahead and put the vanilla in. 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And hopefully I won't make a mess with this one. And then you just add all of your dry ingredients in. Same as opening some cake mix. Start this off real slow. start my oven. Getting my bundt pan sprayed real good. I'm just using a regular bundt pan. Get all this down in there. Check it. Oh, it's so pretty. So fluffy. I just think this is so much better than the regular cake. And since I'm making the cinnamon swirl, I just put some light brown sugar in a bowl. Got me some brown cinnamon. And this is going to be for my swirl in the center and also for my topping. You can add as much brown sugar and cinnamon as you want. Add just a little bit more cinnamon. And this will be my crumb for the top as well as the middle. And here in a minute I'll bring that over and let you see how pretty that turned out. Make sure everything's all stirred up in there real good on the bottom. Now see how pretty that turned out? That is just absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to use half of this around the bottom for my swirl. Cake. Get a nice little layer in there. So that's my bottom layer. Now I'm going to add some cinnamon and brown sugar. And I left this a little lumpy on the brown sugar because it's going to be like a crumb. Almost like a coffee cake. Give you a nice layer of brown sugar over your cake batter. Then we're going to put the rest of the cake batter in. And it's so nice to have your own mixes. You don't have to worry about running to the store to get anything. And like this morning, my husband said, "Can you make me a bundt cake, cinnamon swirl?" And I said, "Why, sure." I said, "I need to make some more mixes, and it's going to be snowing and bad weather coming, so I'll just go ahead and make some for the pantry." Oh, that is so fluffy and so nice. See how nice and fluffy that is? That is just beautiful. Then I'm going to use the rest of my cinnamon topping. And then for the icing for this, all I do is take a little bit of powdered sugar and put it in a bowl and just very, very slowly add a little bit of room temperature water, just enough to make a nice icing, and then I do like a stringy icing over top. Let's smooth that out a little bit, make sure I've got some nice cinnamon everywhere. This will be ready to put in the oven. And there is the cake ready to go into the oven. So I'm waiting for this to come on up to 350. Now I will bake this about 30 to 35 minutes depending on what pan you're using. If you're using a cake pan or a bundt pan, it may differ. So while I'm waiting for that to get done, I can pick up a few things. And the oven is almost there. That's quick and easy. You have your own cake mixes. You can just go in and grab it out of the pantry. We are ready. So I'll go ahead and hold this recipe up so you can see the ingredients. I call this mason jar yellow cake mix. And then for your dry mix, you need 3 mason jars. You need 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour in each jar, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, 3 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then this is what your jar will look like, your mix when you're done. That will make 3 mason jars. And then when you get ready to prepare your cake, you need one 1/2 stick of, or 1/2 cup of softened butter, which is 1 stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 1/2 cups of milk, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, and then 1 jar of your cake mix. And your ingredients is you beat your oil and eggs together, and your butter, and then once that's mixed really good, blended really well, then add your milk and blend it well, then add your dry ingredients and beat it well. You want your oven preheated at 350, and you'll bake that about 30 to 35 minutes. So that's 3 quick and easy cake mixes. I can put these in the pantry. And then if you want to, you can take, if you're going to give these as a gift, you could actually make this really nice and take a piece, take a recipe, piece of paper, put all of your ingredients and your instructions, put a little string around it with a little bow, make a little fan fold out of your recipe, and then put it on your jar, and it makes a very nice gift. And it's very nice for putting in your pantry. You always have cake mixes ready to go. So is there any questions? Oh, what's the name of my dog? The name of my dog is Ryder. R-Y-D-E-R. And he is 7 months old. He is a Maltese. Yeah, but that's very simple, very easy. I'll go ahead and hold this up, so if you want to write any of these ingredients down, you can. That would be, maybe you can pause it and get the ingredients. And then, let me add butter on here, because I just normally do it. Beat all eggs. You would beat your oil, your eggs, and your butter mixture together until it's well blended. Then you would add your milk until it's well blended. Then you would add your dry ingredients, which would be 1 jar of your cake mix, yellow cake mix. Beat well, and then oven preheated at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. It's real simple, real easy. Does it have to be brown sugar, or can it be any kind of sugar? It can be any kind of sugar. If you don't like brown sugar, you can use any kind of sugar. You can substitute it. I like brown sugar and cinnamon for my husband because that's what he prefers. But you can use any kind of sugar. It don't have to be brown sugar. So I've already got 1 cake now in the oven baking. And I think that's about all I'm going to get done here in the kitchen this morning. And then here in a little bit I'm going to be making some chili, because we have the snowstorm coming, so I want to get that done. So I just thought I would stop in, and I had to make some cake mixes today, so I thought I would share that with you. Very simple, very easy. All you need is 3-quart jars and flour, sugar, baking soda, salt, and that's all your ingredients for your dry mix. And then when you get ready to mix it, you'll need your milk, your butter, and vanilla extract, and oil, and then you will add 1 jar of your cake mix that you've got in your pantry, 1-quart jar, and there you have cake mix. So, I hope that was pretty quick and easy. Sorry I was trying to rush a little bit this morning. I just am trying to P-O-T-T-Y, train my little Maltese, so he gets a little anxious. Yes, I know I'm not leaving in this way. That's why I'm doing this. Whenever we go camping as well, a lot of times, you know, it's quite a ways to go to a store, so I usually keep dried milk, the packets of the 2% or the can of the whole milk, and that way I can just mix up my own milk. And I have these jars, they're, you know, especially at the camper, they're rodent proof because they're in a mason jar. So I can just take them to the camp with us. And I have cake mixes already mixed up, and then all I have to do is just add my wet ingredients. All my dry ingredients is in a mason jar. It's rodent free and it's stress free. So, and then if the weather gets bad, like we've got this storm coming, and my husband today said, can you make me a cinnamon swirl cake? And I did have one box of the yellow cake mix left. And I thought that I had some mason jar mixes made up, but I didn't have any made up. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and throw them together real quick, so I'll just jump on here and let everybody see how quick and easy it is. And the cake mix is so pretty. It's so fluffy. It's a pretty yellow. It looks so much better than, I think it looks and tastes better than your box. And if you wanted it to be a little more moist, you could even add pudding to it, or you could add sour cream. If you wanted to add, you know, sour cream, you can do that as well. Depends, you know, it's your own recipe. You're making it from scratch, you know, so you can just add what you want. So I hope that was pretty helpful. Maybe it'll come in handy. So I'm going to get off of here and get a few things done. I have an appointment to go to. I knew I had about a half an hour to 45 minutes. I like your sweater. This is so comfortable. And it actually has little leggings that I can wear that actually match them. And I just love it. It's so comfortable. And if I'm in a hurry to take the puppy out, it has a hood, and I can just throw it up. Because I've got real long hair, but I put it up in my granny bun this morning because I was going to be in the kitchen. But thank you. I just love it. It's so comfortable. So, I'm going to find my coffee. I will be right back. I've misplaced my coffee. My little one has decided he was wore out. He said, Mama, that was just entirely too much. So, he had to go to bed. This is Ryder. He is my 7-month-old Maltese, and he is so, so sweet. I guess Mom took too long in the kitchen. He had to lay down and take a nap. So anyway, that's what I'm getting into today. Getting ready for this snowstorm to hit. And they said there could be power outages, you know, for several days. You know, several hours to several days. So basically I've got everything ready, and I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and bake him a cake, and that way it'll be ready. Of course, we've got gas to cook on. So if our power goes out, I still have the gas range. I'm not worried about that. And, but the oven with the new range, I'm not sure. I think we can light that. Because my whole I don't think I can use my oven, as a matter of fact, because it's all electric controls on top. He's so cute. Oh, thank you. He is so adorable. He just turned 7 months old. Yes, his name is Ryder. He's a Maltese, and he just turned 7 months old, so he's in training. And my Maltese was 13 years old, and we lost him in June. So I'm in training for the whole puppy. So we're both in training, and we're doing very well. He's very patient. He's very, very smart. He is my little buddy. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Did everybody get to see what the jar looked like? And if you go back, it's so simple. The ingredients are just 4 ingredients. You got your flour, all-purpose flour, your sugar, your baking soda, or baking powder, and your salt. It's the only 4 ingredients that you need. It's quick, it's simple, and if you have a larger family, of course, you can make, double it, triple it, whatever you need to do for your family needs. So each quart jar makes 1 cake mix, and then you would just add your wet ingredients when you're ready. I just make them up, put them in the pantry. I have a cake mix ready to go, and that gives me 3 cake mixes. And as far as you could probably do the spice ones, but I like to keep my spices separate from my other dry ingredients. I took a screenshot of the recipe you showed me, so I think I'll be good. Okay, yeah, because it's very quick, very simple. Just, I put my dry ingredients in the jar. I don't like to add, like, any spices or anything like that. I like to do that separately. So if I was making a spice cake, the only thing I'd really do different is I would maybe add my cinnamon or whatever spices that I wanted whenever I was mixing up the cake. So you can actually turn it into a spice cake. You can add whatever spices that you want, add your walnuts, pecans, whatever nuts that you want, and make a nice spice cake. Or you can just turn it into anything, because it's an automatic yellow cake mix. So anyway, thank you all for being patient. Sorry I was a little hurried this morning. Didn't quite have everything out. I thought I would have enough. I wouldn't have to keep pausing there. And I'm trying to get everything ready for the storm, so I have one appointment I need to go to, and then I'll be ready for the storm to hit. So everybody enjoy your day. And then I'm going to come back this afternoon and get some chili made. I'm going to make a big pot of chili and some cornbread. And we'll have that for dinner. So, till next time, I'll see you. Make sure that you share a little kindness today. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. So, be kind to one another. The world needs more kindness and love and understanding. So, until next time, I'll see you. And you all have a wonderful day. And if you're in the storm's path, please be careful. Stay home, stay dry, stay warm. I hope you are stocked and have everything ready to go for the storm. And we are still just a few more things, and we'll be prepared for the storm that's coming. So until next time, you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and we'll catch you the next time. And bye-bye.